Welcome everyone. Today we're going to discuss about Global Peace Index 2021 IEE. The Institute of Economics and Peace is an index not for profit think tank decided to building a greater understanding of the key drivers of peace as well as identifying the economic benefit that increased peacefulness can deliver. Our international office. So this is economic peace research used extensively by organizations including Commonwealth Secretariat, World Bank, and United Nations, working including 1,000 of universities courses and overall 500,000 downloads. 15th year rank. Six measure of ongoing domestic of international conflict, including intensity of the organizational internal conflict relations with the neighboring countries and the number of deaths from conflict. 10 measures of the social safety and security, including number of refugees and IDP, impact of terrorism, homicide, and creations rates. 7 measures of militarism, including military expenditures, number of armed service personnel, age of excess of small weapon. Key finding: Global Peace Index. The average level of the global country peacefulness has deteriorated by 0.07%, but this is ninth deteriorations in the last 13 years. 87 countries become more peaceful, 73 countries deteriorated. Improvements were driven by the change in ongoing conflict, internal conflict, terrorism impact deteriorations, primarily driven by the change in military agents, military expenditure, safety and security. Highlight indicators with the largest deteriorations in the 2020 GEI violation demonstration. Three times more countries fail as improved political stability. Twice as many countries fail as improved militarization. 97 countries deteriorations indicated with a large improvement in the 2021 GDP. Death from internal conflict number and intensity of the internal conflict. Death from terrorism. Sixth controversial year of improvement. Iceland is the most peaceful country in the world. Ukraine and the Iraq had the largest improvement. Middle East and North Africa had the largest regional improvement. However, it remains the latest peaceful region. Europeans remain the most peaceful region despite deteriorations in the political stability, mainly because of improvement in terrorism. Afghanistan remained the world's least peaceful nation. However, it recorded a small increase in peacefulness. Burkina Faso and Belarus record the largest deteriorations. North America had the largest regional deteriorations. Ongoing increase the violation demonstration. Six of the nine GPI region record deteriorations. Iceland number one, New Zealand number two, Denmark number three, Portugal number four, Slovenia number five, Austria number six, Switzerland number seven, Ireland number eight, Czech Republic number nine, and Canada number 10. 10 least peaceful country: Afghanistan, Yemen, Syria, South Korea, South Sudan, Iraq, Somalia, Democratic Republican of Congo, Libya, Central Republican, and Russia. Regional overview: North America. North America recorded the largest deteriorations in 2021, with the average level of the peacefulness in the region falling by 1.8%. Europe. Europe remained the most peaceful region in the world, and it homes to the 8 of the 10 most peaceful countries. MENA. Despite of the recording largest improvement in the peacefulness in 2000, MENA remained the less peaceful region in the world. South Asia. One of three regions is recorded an improvement of the peacefulness, but it remained the second largest peaceful region overall. Four most improved countries: Poland, Ukraine, North Macedonia, Iraq, Vietnam. Most deteriorated country: Burkina Faso, Honduras, Belarus, Azerbaijan, and Zambia. COVID-19 and peace. While levels of the violence were the strategy of the pandemic, most forms of the violence returns in the pre-COVID levels. Civil unrest increased considerably after an initial drop. There was a 10% increase in violent demonstration in 2020. There were 5,000 COVID-related violation increase in 2020. Political instability deterred 46 countries. COVID-19 exacerbate existing tensions in many countries. Long-term impact of the pandemic on homicides, violations, crime, and suicide. If poor economic conditions like future civil unrest will increase. COVID-19 related violation incident January. There are over 5,000 pandemic related incidents during this period that involve from some form of violation. Economic recovery. Economic recovery will be the key factor in while civil unrest conditions to go. Countries with high level of positive peacefuls are better placed to recover quickly from the pandemic. OECD countries with a high positive peaceful achievement unemployment rates of under 7% to 2020 compared of the rate of 23% low positive peace countries. The Czech Republic, Estonia, Germany, Lithuania, Netherlands, Norway, Singapore, Slovenia, Switzerland are the best place for past 2019 recovery. Trends in peace. 75 countries become less peaceful, 86 countries become more peaceful. Peace since 2018. Ongoing conflict. The ongoing conflict domain improved for the first time since 2015. Military agent. Largest increase in the military expenditures in 2020 were in the US, China, Germany, and South Korea. Rising inequality in the global peace. Trends in the key safety and security indicators. Violation demonstrations now at their highest level since the beginning of the index. Over 80 million people have now been forcibly displaced by violence. The average global rate continues to fall. Major unrest even increased by 251%. Trend in the key ongoing conflict indicator. Battle a death conflict to fall after speaking in 2014. Total conflict in fail in the past 2 years. But are 88% higher than 2010. The average intensity of internal conflict is still rising. Trend in the key militarism indicators. The fall in the size of the armed force now appear to be leaving off. Despite high spending by the global superpower, average military expenditure has declined. Weapon imports and exports have a moderate but sustainable increase. The economic value of peace. The economic impact of violence. The global economic impact of violence was 14.94 trillion PPP in 2020, equivalent to 11.6% global GDP or 1,942 per person. The economic impact increased by 0.2% and owing the increase in military expenditure, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan suffered the least economic impact 81%, 42%, 40% respectively of GDP. The 10 countries most economically affected by violence average 36% of the GDP, while 10 most peaceful countries average 4%. Breaking of the economic impact of the violence. Compensations of economic impact by region. Peaceful and perceptions of risk. Global perception of the safety and risk. Risky of the safety. 50% of the people in Afghanistan, Brazil, South Africa, Mexico, and Dominican Republic report violation as the greatest risk of safety in their daily life. Fear of violation crime. 60% of the people globally are worried about sustained serious harms from violation crime. Feelings say 75% of the people feel as safe and more safe than 5 years ago. Male and women. 5% more women fear violation than men globally. Proportion of the people who cite criminal violation terrorism as their greatest threat to safe. What is the greatest risk to your country? Road-related accident, crime, violence and terrorism, health issue, do not know other financial, economy-related crime, change or extreme webinar, household accident, work-related accident, other transport-related accidents, political and political situation, food poisoning, drug, alcohol and smoking. More safe, about as safe, less safe, do not know. Expenditure and fear of violence, top 5%, bottom of the 5. Decision of the risk by reason. The gap between positive pace and negative needs is a strong predictions of the future change of peacefully. Countries with a positive pace defect are more likely to have falls in the peacefully in the future. However, they do not need a shock to unleash their current level of peace. Of the 10 countries with the largest deterioration of the peacefulness between 2009 to 2007 had large positive pace detects in 2009. 90% of the countries were positive peaceful conflict. More than 50 places record substantial deterioration by 2019. Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone, Laos, Malawi, Liberia have the largest positive peace conflict in 2020. Get involved with IP. You can get many important things. People of the age of Scouts and Dawood book by the Forbes and Executive Chairman possess the relevant to the rethink piece, include main exposure experience and the journey behind the founding's IEP, endorsed by the prominent politicians, and this is the way that we can improve the global protections, and especially we can improve global peace, and global peace can help us to improve the quality of life. If you have any question regarding this, you directly can communicate with me. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.